tweet through that one.
I got a question though for Brandon though. Now I want to know how you feel about like the relationships in like today's society. Obviously, I'm a little bit younger, so I don't know. Like you've been around obviously a little bit longer, so you would know how like like I just feel like with today like relationships happen. Like you could meet somebody on social media, you meet up with them, you know, you think you love this person, you with them for 2-3 months, and then you realize like, nah, this ain't the one I want. And I just feel like everybody's doing that, and like around my age at least, I'll say. So what's your thoughts on that?
There's no black men that are your age who should still be in America looking for women. You see that Passport Bros movement? I support that 100%. Go to Africa, find you a baddie that's submissive, who wants to be with you, who's committed to you, willing to push out a baby for you. Only thing she's asking for in exchange is for you to take care of her and make sure y'all kids got what they need. I mean, that's a man's job. That's all they asking. All this, you know, the women in America are very entitled, you know.
Right.
I hate to say that. They're very entitled. They're very ignorant, selfish, and they have all these like ridiculous expectations. The only way they're going to be corrected is if men start to just reject them and go and look other places for love, companionship, all these things. Bro, you get you a passport. Should ticket to Kenya round trip is $900. If I show you some of the women out there, your jaw will hit the floor. And those chicks are like, I want to wash your clothes and cook you food, and you ain't even got to ask. They're just already trained and raised to be submissive to a man. Why would you even deal with some hoochie who's like having sex with 5-10 different dudes? Every dude got a day of the week, but she's pretending like she cares about you so she could get something out of you. Like, not saying you shouldn't engage in that. It's a part of life, but those relationships are just for recreation. If you're really trying to settle down with somebody, go out of the country, preferably Africa. I think that's one of the benefits of Pan-Africanism, because you got access to all the other black people. There's 1 billion women in another continent wishing a man would come choose them. And we over here stressed out about some entitled hoochies. Just go somewhere else.
Now, I hear you talk a lot about Kenya, and you actually put me on game, because I'm not going to lie. To my ignorance, just like I was in your live, like someone said, they didn't know how Africa currency was like and all that. They exchanged in the market. He didn't know if he was going to be able to make money in the business in Africa, right?
Right.
Someone asked me one time in college, it was like you said, they got some beautiful women in Africa. Bro, it was this girl in my class, like a history class, something beautiful. But she asked me what I thought Africa was like. My dumb ass, off the shit we see on TV, I'm like, lions and dirt roads type shit. Very ignorant, right? But she blacked the fuck out on me. But that's how I found out it was cities and shit like that. Like, why don't we know that Africa is like this?
You know, people say, oh, because they only show us this certain side. The reality is a lot of black Americans don't really think of anything outside of America. So like we got phones in our pocket. How often do people Google like Africa? Does Africa have skyscrapers and stuff like that? You know, they like we just haven't been pressured to we haven't been pressured. We haven't found a need to look outside of America for anything. And this situation with the Passport Bros and stuff, all it's doing is really it's real now with the women and how they're so entitled and stuff. That is now giving us a need to look outside of America for something, and that's love and family, you know?
Yeah. So you've been, how many times you've been to Africa? Are you originally from Africa or not?
No. I'm born in Long Beach, California. Like my family members from Texas and Georgia, like everybody else.
So how the hell what made you want to go out to Africa and stuff? What got you out there?
Man, I had a homie who was like getting married out there. It was like one of my best homeboys. I did jujitsu with him. And bro was like, man, I would really love for you to be at my wedding. I was like, bro, I ain't even got no passport, let alone money to get out there. Bro was like, don't worry, man. His dad was rich. He was like, my dad is paying for everybody to fly out there. Just get your passport. I found out you could get a passport in 24 hours. Went downtown LA, got my passport. The next day I was on a flight going to Kenya. Yeah,
And what it was like out there. What city could you compare it to?
Nairobi is the best city on earth, but I would compare it to like New York or like
not New York, bro. We right here. Don't compare it to New York, bro.
No, like New York or Chicago, as far as like a hub of people, it's a ton of people in Nairobi, bro. It's the only city on earth that has a national park inside of city limits. That's how big it is. So like you can go in the city to the national park, see lions, rhinos, giraffes, all that like in the wild. So it covers a huge land area. But if you go to like Central Business District in Nairobi, I mean, there's easily like a couple million people down there moving around doing business. So it's not as built up as New York, but it definitely has like that big city feel. You can order Uber Eats to your front door, all types of stuff. So yeah, it's like any major city in the world. Only difference is every single road is not paved. The main roads are all paved. There's freeways and all that. But if you go down like a little side cut, it might be a dirt road, like a side, not downtown, but like in a neighborhood or something. That's the only difference, really.
And do you feel like they are more connected out there than like the blacks who per se in like America? Like, do you feel like?
I mean, I just feel like they have like a collective interest to make their country successful. That's what I would say.
Okay.
It's not even like more connected because they don't all know each other and all agree on everything, but they're just like, we want our country to be good. I would compare Kenya to like if black people said we want the black community to be safe. That's what it would be like. If all black people are like, we want the black community to be safe and prosperous.
Man, that's tough. How long was that flight from Cali to Kenya?
It's like a total, it's like I would say like a 20-hour flight, but that's including the layover. But if you fly from y'all in New York, right?
New Jersey. New
Jersey. So if you fly from New York, just straight shot 14 hours.
That ain't too bad.
You could catch one plane and get there, land right in Nairobi. So y'all lucky.
In fact. Okay, now let's get back to what you said with the women out there, right? Besides the fact, all right, hold on. Why do you think American women don't have the same standards that Kenyan women do as far as like you said, the doing the laundry? What changed?
In America, the role of the man has pretty much been erased in our families and our societies. Women feel like they can do everything a man can do. They know they can't, but society like impresses that upon them. Another thing is, I think that like the law enforcement angle where like say you and your girl argue, say you slap your girl or y'all get in a fight, she getting too disrespectful, you snatch her up. I'm not advocating nobody hit their women, but sometimes women be trying you might have to snatch their ass up a little bit. You do that in America, they're gonna take you to jail. In Kenya, the girl's not even gonna try you because she's gonna be like, nah, when I was younger and I get out of line, my dad will whoop my ass. But now you're dealing with women who like, shit, even if my mom touched me, I could call the police and get her put in jail. So they just grow up with this mindset like they could like disrespect, and men as well, the little YNs and shit as well. But we just got a whole generation of people growing up who have no accountability. They feel like can't nobody tell me shit, can't nobody make me do nothing I don't want to do, this type of thing. And it just tears at society on every level, especially relationships. Like you tell your girl, like, can you please clean up the kitchen? Why? They want to challenge you over everything. But it's easy for people to challenge people when they grow up believing that no one has the right to tell them anything or to ask them to do anything. So in Kenya, it's not like that. These women are trained to like cater to their man, take care of their man. Their moms raised them to be married. I remember this one Kenyan girl. I said, have you ever even considered marrying like a white guy? She was like, when we're young, we're like, we never consider that because we look at just black relationships our whole life. So it seems like the natural thing to do, just like a Mexican marrying a Mexican or an Asian marrying an Asian. That's just the natural thing that they see. So some will divert and go a different way and do what they want to do, but the vast majority are just going to fall in line with the social norms.